Hi everybody, it's Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio, and it's Friday at 9 o'clock. It's a little different for me to be popping on now, but I was just coming up with some ideas, and I thought I'd come on and I'd show you a different craft that I'm going to make tonight. I'm going to work on part of it tonight, and then I'm probably going to have to do the rest of it in the morning, because my idea is I'm going to take a scrap of wood that I found. It's just a scrap of wood that's sitting around my house here. You know, you can see the numbers on the back where it's just been cut off. It's a piece of extra wood. I'm going to take that. And what started this is I got a new stencil. And that's what started me thinking about this. I got a new stencil and I wanted to do something with my stencils. So the new stencil that I got is, I don't know if you can see it very well here. Here, let me do this. It's got a bird. Well, it might be better if I do it that way for you. It's got a bird on it, and it says "sing" across it. And I'm going this part I'm going to use down here, but I'm going to use a different bird. There's a smaller bird that's on there that I'm going to use. I'm going to put this on the wood also. But before I put the stencil on the wood, first I'm going to do a decoupage collage. And of course, what will I be using to do this? My Mod Podge. Of course, it's another one of the fun and fast Mod Podge projects. Now, I thought, what can I do on my wood with my stencil and also have a pretty background for it? Well, we get magazines, Bird and Bloom magazines and things along this. My mother-in-law actually is the one who gave me these magazines, and they've got beautiful pictures of birds on the inside of them. And I thought, well, that would be perfect as a background on my wood, and then put the stenciling on top of it. Now, we'll go over more tomorrow about the stenciling and how we're going to do that. We'll be using painter's tape, and we'll be using a makeup sponge to apply the stencil with paint. But that'll be tomorrow after this dries real good tonight. So for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our wood, and I've kind of got myself a little laid out map here of how I'm going to have it look. I've got my birds numbered, and I've got everything already cut out, ready to be placed on to the onto the wood. So I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and flip the camera around, and we're going to start this project and just see how it turns out. Okay, so give me just a moment, and I'll get things flipped around. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. And once again, we got to get you set up on my little stand over here. There we go. And we'll turn this light on right here. Here, we don't want it to point that way. There we go. That's good. Okay, and we're going to get our Mod Podge and give it a good shake. And the first thing we'll be doing is getting our sponge brush, and we're going to start with a layer. Huh? I'm sorry. My husband yelled something to me. Excuse me. I'm going to start with putting a layer of Mod Podge on this piece of wood. Here we go. Just a nice layer of Mod Podge. Now, one piece that I got from the magazine is kind of thin, and most of the other pieces are a little bit thicker. So the thin piece I'm going to put down on the very bottom here. It's going to be the lowest part on here, the first layer, I should say. Okay, and that's this right here, and I'm going to put it about right here in the middle. And just take my hand and I'm going to smooth it down. Now, I don't know if you noticed on my little layout that I've worked out for myself, but the birds on it, I put numbers on them. And then the little pieces that I cut out from the magazine on the back of them, I put numbers on those too, so I would know where I wanted to place them on my board. So it is a little let me get that little air bubble out right there. Let's see, rub that down a little. You want to make sure it's going to be on there nice and smooth. We got the air bubble right in here and another one there. And let me push this back over so you guys can see it. Now this is okay because we're going to put lots of birds on here, and then tomorrow we're actually going to stencil on the top of it with some paint. So if we see any little wrinkles, it's not going to make a difference in the end because it's going to have a totally different look than what we're looking at right this moment. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on the back of my number 2 here. Set that down. And let's see, I think I want this one to go. No. I'm going to have it go this way. And I'm going to put him right on the corner here. There we go. I'm not too worried about it getting on the top of it either because afterwards I'm going to completely cover it with Mod Podge also. And then I'm going to pick up number 3. And I'm going to put some Mod Podge on it. But of course I don't want the front of it to have too much all over it, and then it would be all sticky and messy. And this one we're going to put right here with the little hummingbird. Alright. I got my little paper towel over here so I can keep my hands wiped. Alright, number 4. Put a little bit on the back of that. He's going to come right up out of here. Just like that. Alright, I'm just moving right along. All I'm doing is just putting Mod Podge on the back of the cutout birds. He's going to cover up that word right there. Just give them a light little press down. Let's see, we're on number 6. Okay. Beautiful blue jay. And let's see, it looks like he's going right in here. And it's okay if he's over the edge a little. We're not going to worry about that because we're going to press him down onto there also. Okay, number 7 we're ready for. And now I think I'm going to start doing it this way a little bit because I need it to be on the top also. So number 7 is going to sit right here. Okay, with his little tail sticking out over the edge. Alright, and then we've got this pretty little hummingbird. We're going to just lightly tap some on the back of him. And he's going sort of up over that blue jay's back. There we go. We've got this pretty little bird. I didn't look up the name of every one of them, that's for sure, but there's some beautiful birds with some gorgeous coloring on them. He's going to sit right in here. There we are. Alright, we're just adding Mod Podge to every piece. You can see my hands are starting to get a little yucky looking, kind of tackety. We're going to put him here. Trying to cover up the little spots of wood, the little pieces of wood back here. Okay, I'm going to wipe my hands real quick. Try to get some of that off of my nails. Okay, and we don't want it to get too dried out though, so we're going to just keep going. And the ink gets on you too. The ink will get on your hands from the back of the paper. to wipe a little of that off. I'm going to put a little water in this cup over here. And that way I can tip my fingers into it and try to get a little bit of that Mod Podge off me there. You got to be a little careful with it because the ink on the back of the magazine clippings does begin to rub off a little bit. Okay, anyway, we're going to put this guy here. He's going to go in this corner. I'm going to put some all over this corner, actually, right here. He's going to sit right here in the corner. This pretty bird right here is going to go right here and cover up that open spot right there. And it doesn't matter what's hanging over the edge. We're going to end up Mod Podging every bit of that down also. Now this one's needing some a little underneath the tip right there. All right, that'll work. Okay, we're starting to get this side pretty well populated. We're getting all the birds. Getting all the birds over here on this side of the picture. And we're going to put this pretty bird right here. Let him come down just a little bit. All right. Now, turn him a little bit. I want that bird over there to show up just a little bit better too. Okay, so we've got this side pretty well covered. Got a little spot right there, but you know, that's okay too. There's one little spot where you can see the wood. That's all right. We're not going to worry about that. Now we're going to put some Mod Podge on the top of these birds. And then you can see that some of them are coming up just a little bit. And I can use my handle and press it down. There we go. Because this is a much thicker paper than even just regular paper. That magazine had some pretty nice paper in there. And some beautiful pictures. So, it's a thicker kind of paper, and I can press on it without worrying too much about it tearing. Now this piece was thin. This was a little advertisement, and I thought that was very pretty. Stained glass window with the birds in it, so I cut that out to be sort of the middle piece. Now I'm just going to wipe off the tip of that where I pressed that down. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to start over here on this side now. And that's going to be with this pretty little hummingbird. We're going to get him on here. And he's going to go right up here in this corner on top of the stained glass. It's all right. I don't need to wipe that off. I don't need to wipe that off at all. Okay, and then this one, you can see this is a thick paper. All right, and we're going to put that one, let's see, he's almost right up on that. So we're going to put him right here like this. Okay. And then we're going to get this little woodpecker here. And we're going to put him up in the corner. Since he's kind of standing up in the direction that you would have for the corner. And he fits perfectly right on there. And we've got a little spot showing right there too. I didn't turn my hummingbird exactly right, but that's all right. It's all right. That wood can show. It's not going to hurt anything in the least. In the end, we're going to end up putting Mod Podge on the top of this, and then we're actually going to paint on top of it too with a stencil. So the little pieces of wood I don't think are going to be very noticeable at all. At all. Okay, we're going to put his beaks coming up. Let's see, sort of right up into this wing. There we go. All right, we've got 26 pieces, and right now we are working on number 19, I believe. Yes, it is, number 19. So we are almost done with our project. Gonna put one nice big thick layer on after I get it all covered, of course, but this project's going pretty quickly, actually. Let's see, you're gonna sit on top of there, like that. Come over here. Yeah, you gotta line up on this edge. You're cut for the edge. Okay, let me get this off of my fingers once more real quickly. And this pretty little bird right here. It's going to go in that little open spot right there that we created. Right there. All right. He's going across. Yeah, right like that. There we go. All right. 21. Now we're on to 22. And that's going right in this spot right here. You can see I'm just dabbing it on. And then I'm going to set this. No, I think this goes up a little higher, doesn't it? Yeah, it goes up at the top. And over here. All right, we're getting them on there. We are getting them on there. All right. I keep saying all right, excuse me. This is a very easy little project. Once again, it's going to be a beautiful piece of wood when we get it done, something that you'd be proud to put on the shelf in your home. Let's see, you come down here maybe like this. Is that how you were working? Yeah, you're working right into that spot right there. Maybe over here just a little. There we are. We're on 24, so that's really getting down to the end. Another woodpecker we're going to put right there. Okay. I thought this was a very pretty bird. Now you can see that this was from the ad inside the magazine wanting you to purchase more of those magazines. And I just cut him right out. And we're going to put him right here in the little area that goes over top of where that wording was. He's a very pretty bird. And then we're down to the last bird, and all we're going to do after that is put some Mod Podge on the top and let it dry. And then I will come back tomorrow and we will put our stencil on the top of it. And you'll see what a quick and easy project that this can be to make something very pretty to sit on the shelf at your home. All right, now we've got everything on there that we're going to put on. So the only thing left to do at this point is to put a nice layer of the Mod Podge on the top, which we'll just do real nice and quick here for you. Get that thing out of the way. Nope, don't go too hard. You'll be pushing up the corners, but that's okay because that actually gets enough Mod Podge underneath that it shows me that there's a spot there that needs to have a little more attention. Now let's see, I can see a couple of little spots in my wood today. There's one up here and one there and one there, but I really don't think it's gonna make a difference once this gets completely dried and we've got the stencil on the top of it. I think that it's going to have a really nice look to it. Now, as you can see, I didn't make those long straight strokes like I normally do. I want this to have a more of a canvas look feel to it. So I'm just kind of like going sideways and back and forth and in different directions. But I still want it to be, you know, to have nicer, longer type strokes, not just little slip slap, longer strokes. So I think we're basically done here. I've got a couple little bubbles coming up right here. I'm going to press that down and then just take that and go like this again. I'm going to let this dry, and I will be back tomorrow to show you part 2 of our decoupage bird collage. And thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm glad that you're here. And we'll see you in the morning. Thanks, Stephanie. I see you. Come back and join me in the morning, and I'll show you how to put the stencil on. It's going to say sing, and then it'll have a pretty bird up here in the corner. So, once again, Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio. Thank you for joining me. Bye.